guess I have something interesting to share, something to get off my mind, and I feel like this video is gonna resonate with a good amount of people. So I guess there's two things that life has taught me. Well, not taught me, I would say there's two things that I've come to like really understand throughout experiences in my life over the past, let's say, 2 to 4 months. And I just feel like, you hear people talking about it on the internet, or like successful people sharing their story, and they mention these two concepts, but unless you really experience it and you really go through it, you'll never really understand it or resonate with it as much as you should. So the first concept it's a very common one, and it's detachment. Everybody talks about detachment in the sense of that you're supposed to act like you don't care, or pretend like you don't want something as bad as you want it, and that's how you get it. But that's not how detachment works. And in my experiences that I've had over the last 4 months, I would say detachment really just comes down to energy. And when it comes to achieving an outcome that you desire, the way you achieve that outcome is through detachment. And the way you become attached is not by pretending or acting. It's about really just the energy that you put out and the energy you carry with yourself. It's like, for me, my relationship with detachment in life, when it came to like relationships or job opportunities or just anything that I wanted in life, my relationship with detachment used to be just, I'm just gonna act like I don't care about it. I'm gonna pretend like I don't want it. I'm gonna pretend like I don't have any control over it. And it never worked, because the more I tried to do that, the more I gripped onto the control of, I want this to work, I need this to happen, I need it to play out like this, I expect this. And it made things worse, by putting on the front or pretending like I didn't care, or just not being authentic. And I forgot my mic, so like this is just gonna be off the top of the head video, you know what I mean? But when it came to detachment, bro, and the experience I've had in the last few months, I've really come to understand that to get what you want, or to get the outcome that you want in life, or whatever it is that you desire, detachment is the key. But it's not in the way how people describe it. To get those results and to get the outcome, it's detachment in the form of energy. It's, let's say there's a job that you applied for, right? Now, you did what was in your control, and that was applied, right? You can't control whether you're gonna get picked for that job, whether you're gonna get hired, whether they're gonna fire you, whether they're not gonna pick you. You can't control any of that. All you can control is that you apply, right? That's the input. The output and the outcome, you have no control over that. So the way my relationship with detachment used to be, it would be, I want this job to work, I'm gonna check the application, see if they replied, I'm gonna reach out to the people, see if they replied, over and over and over. And it just puts you in a state of neediness, like you need it to happen. And when you need something, you're never gonna get it, because you're coming from a place of desperation, and you're gripping onto it like really tight, So when it comes to that, let's use that same example. You have two people who applied for the same job. Whether they both get hired is out of their control. Person A is stressing about whether he's gonna get the position. He's running behind the people. When are you guys gonna let me know that I'm gonna get an interview, or when are you gonna let us know who's been picked for the position? And he's stressing about it. He's constantly thinking about it. He wants it too badly. But person B is like, I applied for this position. If I get it, amazing. But if I don't, life goes on. and they continue to live their life from a calm state, a state of poise, a state of composure, where getting that position doesn't define them, getting that position doesn't make or break them, you know what I mean? And lo and behold, the person who gets that position is not person A, it's person B. Because detachment is a thing where if it's meant for you to happen, it will happen. You can't force anything. You can't make it happen quicker. You can't make it come to you. If it's not in your control, you can't do anything to make it more in your control, if you know what I mean, right? And detachment and, you know, just being non-resistant is the cheat code to getting what you want out of life. It's the cheat code to being successful. It's the cheat code to achieving the desired outcome. It's a cheat code for all those things. Being non-resistant. Yes, you have goals, you have desires, but not making those desires a part of you in a sense, and, you know, being desperate enough to have those desires is what's gonna get you those desires, you know? It's not about not caring. Of course you care, you're human. Of course you're gonna feel some sort of emotion towards what you desire, but when you just let go of the need to control it and relinquish the need to force it and just be in a state of non-resistant and be in a state of open to receiving these things, that's when you get them, that's when they happen, you know what I mean? So yeah, that used to be my relationship with detachment. And, you know, when it came to getting a job or relationship or just something in life that I wanted, that would be my relationship. I used to be person A, and things never used to work out because I wanted it so badly. But over the last few months, I've kind of changed my relationship with detachment and become more of a person who lets life just flow, let things just work out how they're supposed to. I really am a firm believer that whatever you want in life, if you're meant to have it, you will have it. There's nothing you can do to make it come fast, and there's nothing you can do to make it happen how you want it. All you do is just focus on the input and let the outcome do the rest. That's how you go through life, you know what I mean? And that's how I've been living my life over the past few months, and I've seen a more positive difference. I've seen outcomes come when I release the expectation of how I want it to go, when I release the control or the resistance over it, you know what I mean? Things in life come and go, and you just have to be okay with, you know, if it happens, great, amazing, but if it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world, you know what I mean? Even I could use, for me personally, I could use YouTube as an example. When I first started out, I wanted it to happen so quickly. I wanted the views, I wanted the subscribers, I wanted everything to happen so quickly, and I wanted it so badly, to the point where it didn't work. Every video I've made has been a failure in a sense, right? And it's like I wanted it to happen so badly to the point where it hasn't worked, and I had to take a step back from it and, you know, kind of reposition myself to approach YouTube differently, in terms of I do this from a place of not needing it to work anymore. I do this from a place of, if I have a video and it does well, great, amazing. If it doesn't do well, so be it. Just keep posting, keep going, but I'm detached from the outcome of needing it to work. I'm detached from trying to force it or trying to force how it happens or the way I want it to go. Things in life happen the most beautiful things in life happen in a way that you will never expect. So that's why you just have to just be non-resistant, not put expectations on how you want things to go in your life, and just flow. Let life flow, you know? It's all about energy at the end of the day, and how fast you can move on from a disappointment or a desire that you had not working out. How fast can you move on, you know? If you dwell on it, your energy is going to be so much more fucked up. But if you can move on quickly and just move on to the next thing and just be ultimately non-resistant and flow through life, I promise you'll be good. You'll get the outcome that you want in life, you know what I mean? That's the first concept. The second concept is failure. And I'm talking about failure in the sense of people who tried something or tried to, you know, pursue a goal or a desire that they had, and it just never worked out. You know, that's the failure I'm talking about. I've learned over the past few months to restructure my relationship with failure, you know, because I used to look at failure like an embarrassment, shame, rejection. That's how I used to look at failure. But failure plays the role of a parent in a sense, you know, because first of all, failure and success coexist. You can't have one without the other. Just like you can't have the sun without the moon, and you can't have you know, things coexist. You can't have, I don't know, I can't think of another example, but when I say the sun and the moon coexist. The moon doesn't stop the sun from shining, and the sun doesn't stop the moon from shining when it's their time. They both have their time, right? One comes before the other, but they both coexist. Just like failure and success. Failure comes before success. You can't have success without failure, right? And why would you want to have success without failure? Failure teaches you things that success will never be able to teach you. You know, failure makes you appreciate the success when you finally get it, because you know what it took to get there. You know how many failures it took to get to the success. You know what I mean? And I've had to, you know, kind of restructure my relationship with failure in the sense that it's not an embarrassment. It's okay to fail. It's a good thing to fail. The quicker you fail, the quicker you are to succeed in, you know? If somebody came up to you and told you, you know, it's gonna take you 100 failures to get to where you want to go, right? 100 failures. How fast would you want to fail? You know what I mean? How fast would you want to fail? And that's the thing. How fast would you want to go through the failures, go through the adversity, go through the rejection, go through the constant just failing? How fast would you want to go through that? And that's where, if you go through 100 failures quickly, you'll get to that one success. And then when you get to that one success, you'll appreciate the 100 failures that you had to go through to get to that one. You know what I mean? It's a numbers game. It's a game of numbers. This life shit. You know, and I know I'm kind of rambling, but yeah, failure is important. It's important to fail, because failure teaches you where you went wrong, what you could have done better, how you can, you know, tweak things a little bit to get to where you want to be, or do what you want to do, right? Failure creates success. It's all reps. Nobody goes to the gym and goes from 0 to 100. Nobody goes to the gym and goes from skinny to a bodybuilder in the space of a snap of a finger. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't work like that. It's reps. You go to the gym, you fail the first day you go, you fail the second day you go, you fail the third day you go, and you start to get the hang of things. You go up to the next level, you fail again, and you start to get the hang of things. You fail again until you just fail upwards, fail all the way to the goal that you have, you know. But you have to just keep failing, and there's nothing wrong with failure. I have 50 failures before this video, and they all taught me something, you know. Not just the detachment part of it, but also that failure is okay. It's okay to fail, because if you were to just make how many other videos or whatever it is that you do in life, if you were to just do that and it instantly hit the ground running and you instantly was successful at it, you wouldn't know how to appreciate it. You wouldn't know how to go about it. Whereas the person who fails, they carry a different type of energy, they carry a different type of understanding and awareness, because it wasn't handed to them. They had to work for this, you know what I mean? So that's why I say failure is such an important thing, and that's something else that's been like a really important you know, concept in my life over the past few months, and in experiences that I've had in life, you know. And it's made me realize a lot about how life works when it comes to detaching from goals that you have and aspirations. And it also makes me understand why failure is the key to getting where you want to be. You know what I mean? Every successful person failed. Every successful person was a failure. They just tried one more time. They just kept trying. They just kept showing back up. They just kept learning. They just kept understanding what they could do better, you know, where they went wrong, the lessons. And ultimately, that's how they ended up scaling. That's how they ended up becoming successful, this, that, and the third. and that's just how life goes, you know. So I say all that to say I hope that, you know, at least one person resonates with this video. Detachment and failure, those are the two concepts that have, you know, been the forefront of my experiences in the past few months, you know. And I really think that understanding detachment properly and you know, kind of understanding failure as well, in a sense, is the key to get to where you want to be and doing what you know you can do, and, you know, fulfilling your potential. So yeah, I hope that this video resonates with somebody, and yeah, I just have to get that off my mind. I don't really make videos unless it's something that, you know, it's on my mind and I feel like I really need to put it out there, you know what I mean? So yeah, failure and detachment, those are the two concepts that I hope resonates with somebody, and yeah.